stop some of the push through as Gravity falls, but Paul is able to find the elimination. So the Subliners Academy roster can get here to challenge to make sure that there's not the push through, but they've lost all control of the plane. It's just, at one point in time, Visions, we might just need to sit down on stream and just go at like 0.25 times speed, because WestR just don't lose these breaks. Saints is going to change things up by hitting a flank, and that will kind of break up the monotony, which has been nothing but WestR wins. Gravity trying to exist in tools, also taken down as the Semtex can't save his life. And so the Subliners Academy, a really good counter break. They should be able to tie up this game, but more importantly, hold on to that yellow cargo container side of the map for P2.
And that play all come back to Saints. He finds 3, I believe it was, before ends up falling, and does find 1 on the end of that nade also. So not too bad of a situation. I mean, if you can kind of go even off the first hill, that is really best case scenario going up against a team like WestR, especially on this specific map. But can they actually hold the spawns? That's the question. Paulek's the first one through. Now we'll be able to actually have some assistance here from Zaptius and Venom in towards the back. Diamondcon caught all alone, and it looks like this should be the flip, and it is. The very first attempt here in towards the back will be successful. They know all 4 players are down, and WestR, they will be in control of the hill and the spawns.
It's just too good, man. I mean, these first 2 hills are just 90% success rate. That might even be under generous. It very well could be like 95% success rate when it comes to them winning the first hard point and then winning the break to get to the second hard point. They're just so darn good at it. Zaptius does get punch shotted there by Prolute. He's able to find himself a double kill. Spam shots from Gravity. Going to get a little bit of help from Paul. Saints is part of the break attempt. Venom trying to hold on to the scrap time. Saints will find 1, but he really can't overchow this. He needs to just play for exits, and as he tries to get out of yellow, he will eventually fall. So it'll be 65-23. The Subliners Academy roster is also losing members on this rotation. Paul able to find himself a double, and he's able to turn scrap into initial as they go from 2 to 3 very cleanly.
This is where Paul and Zaptius, for whatever reason, just seem to go nuts on this hill, and they have the finesse, they have the tools to get the job done. Paul was on a spree, but Diamondcon does do a great job of finding at least the first AR player, trying to allow his teammates to move up, but Venom deals with the flank through the right side, so Prolute not allowed to get himself in towards the mix. Spartan Saints will be able to win out on the majority of the trades here. Last one left alive will be Zaptius, and Diamondcon finds him. So this is a great resurgence here for the side of NYSL Academy. They find a couple of kills that are needed here to push the spawns back, but Venom right back off the spawn, able to find 2 and break his way in towards the hill.
And the reason why is the Venom able to find those kills? If you were to go back in time and just look at that break attempt from the Subliners Academy, all 4 members at one point in time are stacked up either in or underneath the plane. So as they have to exit to rotate to P4, WestR off the respawn have the long lines of sight set down. Even though Venom's able to get it with the 74U, it's still the fact of the matter is Subliners Academy are just not controlling the vast amount of space that we're seeing out of WestR. That's what they do to you. As soon as they force you to all converge into one spot.
You know Miller Lite only has 1 more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
As soon as they come off the respawn, they're watching the outer lanes. This is another nice bounce back moment, though, for Subliners Academy as they're able to get some pressure over towards the 4th hard point. It forces Paul inside, which is really what you want. Get those AR players to have to play for the hard point here on those outer edges, and that will lead towards a pretty 50-50 4th hard point thus far.
NYSL Academy, they would love to have all of this time here, but will Zaptius give it over? Doesn't matter. Diamondcon, big gunfight here with the XM4 up close, but do they decide to push all the way through, or will they start to flood in towards the middle of the map? It looks like they are going to have player number 7 on your mini-map that did just get cut down. That was Spart. He had a chance to win a one-on-one here up against Zaptius and maybe drop some pressure away from the plane, but that doesn't end up happening. NYSL do grab at least the scrap time here off of P4. However, the problem is now getting themselves in towards the back and trying to break from the front.
It's going to be a really tough break attempt. WestR, even though this has been a tight game so far, could really snowball here. Saints mid plane really can't do too much. You're trying to wait for Pro to make a play, but he can't get through. Again, with not just with SMG, he really can't make a play at long range like that. Diamond come topside plane, traded by Gravity. He'll watch Spart walk right onto the open, and I believe he also saw the shoulder of Prolute down low. Takes the second challenge, and yeah, 6 in a row for Tom. Nearly gets the 7. Diamondcon eventually puts him down, but there's nobody here for the Subliners Academy roster that could really challenge forward. Spart's going to have to try to give it a go as he's flushed out by a Semtex, and that actually isn't just a flush out, it's an elimination. rotation in his mix. And with that, WestR essentially go for a full 60. And there's that little bit of snowball because now you have to go to the first hard point where WestR have been so dominant.
Resetting now as we take a look at some of the stats already coming through. And I mean, yeah, Gravity 15-9 as well as Paul X 13-13. There's just a lot of AR control, and then you just have Venom and Zaptius who have been soaking up time here, doing a great job of being able to get themselves in towards the plane. But so far so good in the first 10 seconds here from NYSL Academy, just zoning a lot of the players away. But Paul X goes towards the AK-74. You finds an easy kill up close and will break in to at least contest this time. Diamondcon doesn't have the support just yet. Gravity with a great shoulder peek will find the R player. The stack is in, and WestR once again in control of D1.
Big play here for Saints to find a double and keep his life, trying to spam through the walls. Paul, he will get an opportunity to reset the gunfight, but he's got more Subliners Academy members right in front of him. Prolute trying to force forward. Jackius is good for one. Prolute cannot finish off as Venom comes right back through. And I swear this guy is Superman, dude. He just could, he knows exactly where the spam shots are, as if he could just see through the walls, it feels like. Not to suggest anything, it's just he knows 100% where these spam shots are. That's what I'm really trying to say. I'm not saying anything, all right? He just knows where these spam shots are.
He is very good inside that place for sure. And now Zaptius, who's going to be responsible for trying to work his way in towards the back. And just look at this patient play. He realizes his teammates are not with him, so he starts to take his time. He is tagged up, and his spot is going to be known, but he at least allows some of his teammates to push up while two players focus on him. And look at this. Gravity's able to inch himself in towards the hill and now actually fight for tube control. Almost finds two off. Spawn shots come through, and it's Diamondcon that actually ends up finishing off his teammate. They don't have the full break to come through just yet, but now the spawn flip is in. Player 2 on the minimap will spawn in from behind, but I gotta say, Saints and Diamondcon inside the hill right now, they are winning some important gunfights and keeping things very scrappy.
Again, 3 members for New York Subliners Academy were stacked onto this hard point. And look how WestR have just given this up and to try to rotate around the map. Granted, they're not finding the kills this time through, but that's just kind of exemplifying that previous point that I had from before, where it's they will just lock down the outer lands and just be happy to frag you off of the exit kills that are going to come through as you have to rotate from hill to hill. So we've got about a 50-point game here, a little less than that, as New York Subliners Academy will get a little bit of initial time here on the third hard point underneath the plane. But as Zaptius and Venom push forward, it's again maybe way too easy of a break for WestR as they get past 180.
Zap will get pinched here from both players. Spart, though, nice drop shot comes through. And that's
Yeah,
actually 4 down here for WestR. The spawn's still going to be favorable, at least for 3 out of the 4 members for the side of WestR. So they still are going to want to hang on to this side of the map. But Saints could find an opening. Doesn't manage to find the player below him. And Venom does manage to tag the player up enough to play for the trade. As Zaptius moves through, finds himself a double, trying to keep them off at the time at the very least here, as Gravity will move right back in to soak this up. But we do get a spawn flip here for the side of NYSL Academy. It means that they have a chance to at least have this side of the map, and this means that P4 and P5 could potentially be theirs if they're able to hold it.
Look, Prolo just needs to wake up, and he is right now. He had a really terrible start to this map, 10 and 19. He's got about a minute worth of hill time, which is allowing New York Subliners to at least build some of that objective time. But you look at the rest of his team, they're essentially dragging him through the mud right now. So if Prolo can find a way to get these opening breaks a little bit cleanly, that's going to be enough maybe for Subliners Academy to get back into this game. They're just down a little over 20 points, but as they start to reaggress upon this fourth hard point, it's WestR who come away with the kills. Zaptius trying to push forward, has to be responding to Spart up close and personal, so Semtex will push him into the line of fire. From behind, Proloop not going to find anything off the pinch. Spart there to again find another kill with the pistol, but at long range eventually dealt with. And now WestR over the 200-point mark, still with 25 seconds to play on our fourth cargo container's hill.
This is pretty important time here. NYSL Academy do not want 20 seconds to go over, because that would be great time for WestR to pick up for themselves. And there is the double challenge that comes through. Gravity does take down one of his teammates. Saints just looking to contest as long as possible. Get some assistance there from Spart. A beautiful job that ends up coming through. None of this scrap time really ends up going over. 5 seconds at the very least, but that is really the best case scenario coming through here for Subliners Academy. They also have the initial setup going in towards New, so P5 is theirs. The spawns are theirs. They have a chance to actually take the lead.
Oh, the finesse on the little bait and switch on the Spart up top. He needed to lock down this plane maybe for a little bit longer. 15 seconds will be good for Subliners Academy, but you see how WestR want to play this. They still feel like they need to hit through the middle of the map and try to push around the backside. Spart and Saints able to come back to life as they find a couple eliminations. Gravity up top and a weird gunfight versus Saints will eventually find the kill, but he really can't do anything with that elimination besides hold on to the plane and will actually catch his Spart out. So now all of a sudden, Gravity can shoot down onto this. He finds DiamondCon from behind. We've got ourselves about an even game, but WestR, they want to play for this break, and here they come. Venom and Zaptius from the front, Gravity watching over the top, and it's a 4-man feed. WestR right back into the hard point, and they force the Subliners to spawn out.
Force them to spawn out, and they already have the same positioning inside of the plane. Look at Zaptius, look at Gravity. Still on this spree, by the way, is Gravity, who puts himself at 30 kills now, as this is certainly a close game, but WestR are just so notorious for being good on this hill. Gravity doesn't have the submachine gun support, so is trying to play his life. The double slide does come through. Trade's coming back for Venom, and Paul X from the side of the wing will be able to grab himself one before falling. NYSL Academy, they clear out the hill. They have a bit of control. Now we can see if they can actually hold on to it.
Prolud, massive 1v1 into Zaptius. He denies the ability for WestR to pinch, so now it has to come from the front, and you should know this. Prolud, taking a page out of Venom's book, is just spamming through the woodwork. He's fighting a lot of damage, but no kills. 228, 224. DC watching over to the top side of the wing. Gonna now turn his focus over to top Gravity. You have to keep in mind that as long as this is contested, WestR do hold the ability to rotate over to P2, but here comes the Subliners Academy. They're pushing through. They force WestR to spawn out for only a small amount of time. Paul responds to Pro in an unfortunate team kill. Means that, yes, the Subliners Academy will have a lead going into the second hill, but WestR is here first.
Spart on your mini-map. A chance to one-on-one here against Zaptius, but Zaptius denies him, finds the first one. DiamondCon also still in towards the back as it's a fight for spawns, but all the attention towards the hill. WestR is soaking up the time, and no one has really been able to force the spawns out completely. DiamondCon slips in from behind, grabs himself one. Venom waiting. The shots are good for DiamondCon for two, but it's 244 to 242. There is the win from Paul. Saints needs to win the gunfight,
No
and Paul
way.
X says no. Just goes massive as they will be able to win out the spawns and take away the map number one.
I think if you were just to ask the question into the universe, who's the most clutch player in challengers right now? I think instantly all 4 players for WestR's hands will go up confidently, but we've seen so many huge plays from Paul, man. I mean, this was the winning play in my mind for Gravity. The fact that he wins that 1v1 inside the plane, WestR don't win this game if they don't break some time onto this hard point. And they don't break that hard point, Tom gets up top. That is an absolutely